Good morning, everybody. My name is Dan Scripps, Chair of the Michigan Public Service Commission, and I call this meeting of the Commission to order on March 19th, 2021 at 10:30 a.m. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chair Scripps.
I am present and attending remotely from Leelanau County, Michigan.
Commissioner Phillips.
I am present and attending remotely from what is a beautiful and brisk, clear sky, Ingham County, Michigan. Thank you.
Commissioner Peretick.
I'm present and attending remotely from Wayne County, Michigan.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We are holding this meeting remotely using Microsoft Live Event. It is compatible with all browsers except Safari. Telephone relay service is available through the phone option. If you are participating via the live stream, you may also turn on the live captions by clicking on the closed caption or CC button in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. During the meeting, we will call out participant names before speaking to support those listening only by phone or using relay service. As indicated in the notice for today's meeting, if we lose connection, the Commission will be in recess. We will attempt to reestablish a connection, but if we are unable to do so within 15 minutes, we will adjourn. Decisions made prior to the disconnection will be binding, and other business will be handled at a future meeting. We will not recess or adjourn due to technical issues experienced by individual members of the public. The meeting will be recorded and available for future reference on the Commission's website. In addition, the Commissioners can receive comment via mpsc_commissioners@michigan.gov. For reference, this email is also included in the Q&A feature on the live stream event on your computer and in the meeting notice. If you have intermittent internet service, you should consider listening to the meeting via telephone, not the computer. So if there is an interruption, you can avoid missing part of the meeting. Another option is to watch the meeting through your internet service with the sound muted and then listen to the audio from your phone. Please keep in mind the video feed has a slight delay while the telephone line is in real time. We will have an opportunity for the public to make comment as provided in the agenda, as always. A few notes about this. Comment should be limited to one per person and can be made verbally by calling in or in writing via the live stream Q&A feature. If you are participating via Teams application, you can use the Q&A feature and type your comments in the box anytime during our meeting, and we'll have those queued up to read. The Q&A function should be used to request technical assistance or to submit public comments directed to the Commission. If you would like to make verbal comments, you must call into the meeting by phone. And to minimize disruptions, attendees will be muted until we reach the time for public comment. The first order of business today is approval of the agenda for our meeting, and I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair Scripps. I move for the approval of the minutes from the March 4th, 2021 Commission meeting.
Oh, can we back up just a bit? I think we're focused on approval of the agenda.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I
you're
move
good.
for approval of the agenda for today's Commission meeting. Sorry,
Excellent. Commissioner Peretick,
I second the motion.
is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve today's agenda. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Peretick?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The agenda is approved. The next item of business on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the March 4th, 2021 Commission meeting. And Commissioner Phillips, would you like to make this motion?
I now move for the approval of the minutes from the March 4th, 2021 Commission meeting.
Thank you. Commissioner Peretick?
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the minutes from the March 4th, 2021 Commission meeting. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Peretick?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The Commission meeting minutes of March 4th, 2021 are approved, and Commissioner Phillips, I appreciate you keeping me on my toes this morning. The next item of business on the agenda is the approval of the orders and minute actions on the consent agenda. Today, the Commission is assisted by staff attorney and Alma College alum Kelly Barber Dodge. I recognize Ms. Barber Dodge.
Good morning. Today's consent agenda consists of 10 communications matters, 2 electric matters, and 1 gas matter. The proposed orders and minute actions for these matters have been thoroughly vetted by the Commission's technical and legal staff and are ready for your approval.
Thank you, Ms. Barber Dodge. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the orders and minute actions on the consent agenda.
Commissioner Peretick?
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the orders and minute actions on the consent agenda. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Peretick?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The orders and minute actions on the consent agenda are approved. I recognize Ms. Barber Dodge.
Item 4A1 is case number U15805, which involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company requesting ex parte approval of a build transfer agreement with Heartland Farms Wind Project LLC. The order before you approves the agreement.
I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the order in case number U-15805.
I recognize Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by a unanimous vote. The order in case number U-15805 is approved. I recognize Ms. Barbara Dodge.
Item 4A2 is case numbers U18092 et al., which involve a motion by Indiana Michigan Power Company requesting authority to extend its deadline for filing its Public Utility Regulatory Policies Act of 1978 avoided cost review and to integrate its avoided cost review into its upcoming Integrated Resource Plan filing. The order before you grants the motion.
Thank you, Ms. Barbara Dodge. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
I move for the approval of the order in case numbers U-18092 et al.
Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by a unanimous vote. The order in case numbers U-18092 et al. Is approved. I recognize Ms. Barbara Dodge.
Item 4A3 is case number U18238, which involves a matter on the Commission's own motion to consider whether to reopen and revise the Commission's rate case standard filing requirements for electric and natural gas utilities. The order before you invites interested persons to submit comments no later than 5 p.m. Eastern Time on May 14th, 2021.
Thank you, Ms. Barbara Dodge. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-18238.
I recognize Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-18238 is approved. Ms. Barbara Dodge.
Item 4A4 is case number U20935, which involves the application of DTE Electric Company requesting ex parte approval of regulatory asset treatment and deferral authority for cost associated with Phase 2 of its electric vehicle Charging Forward pilot program. The order before you approves the application.
Thank you, Ms. Barbara Dodge. Commissioner Phillips.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20935.
I recognize Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion?
I do just have brief comments to make, Chair. Today we have for our consideration order U-20935, which, if supported by the Commission, would approve DTE Electric Company's ex parte application for a regulatory asset and other associated program components related to Phase 2 of the company's electric vehicle Charging Forward program. The Phase 2 pilot proposal, as outlined in DTE's application, is an important building block to the further support and exploration of the grid-related challenges and potential customer and system-wide benefits associated with the rapid electrification of the transportation sector. The proposed expanded EV pilot also complements the recently extended Consumers Energy electric vehicle pilot program approved by the Commission in December of last year. The order before us approving the company's application will allow for the increased support of vehicle electrification among commercial and industrial customers in the company's service territory. The order also emphasizes the need for DTE Electric to include, as a part of its next general rate case, a comprehensive pilot plan and associated objective pilot criteria as outlined in case U-20645 issued by the Commission on February 4th of this year. Submission of this comprehensive pilot plan and objective pilots criteria will provide the Commission with greater transparency of the company's Phase 2 pilot proposal, as well as a better understanding of the company's plans to implement the Charging Forward program at full scale after the pilots have concluded. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Phillips, and I appreciate your leadership both on oversight of the many exciting developments in the electric vehicle space, as well as the development of work around having a better framework for evaluating pilots. Is there any future or further discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-20935 is approved. Ms. Barbara Dodge?
Item 4A5 is case numbers U21008 et al., which assign docket numbers and filing dates for the 2020 renewable energy cost reconciliations for all rate-regulated electric utilities.
Thank you, Ms. Barbara Dodge. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of order in case numbers U-21008 et al.
I recognize Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by a unanimous vote, and the order in case numbers U-21008 et al. Is approved. Ms. Barbara Dodge?
Item 4B1 is case number U-20945, which involves an ex parte application by Consumers Energy Company for approval of a waiver of Michigan Administrative Code Rule 460.2351, an alternative statistical quality sampling program under Rule 460.2351A, and an American Petroleum Institute Standard 1164 implementation process under Rule 460.2345. The order before you approves the application.
Thank you, Ms. Barbara Dodge. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20945.
Commissioner Paratek?
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote, and the order in case number U-20945 is approved. We have now reached the time reserved for members of the public to address the Commission. Again, if you would like to make a comment and have access to the Teams live stream Q&A feature on your computer, please enter your name and your comment, which will then be read aloud. This feature is available on the right-hand side of the control bar next to the mute button. As a reminder, the Q&A feature is intended for public comments directed to the Commission and not to engage with other participants or respond to their comments. After taking any comments through this feature, we will open up the phone line for those who called into the meeting and would like to address the Commission verbally. If you want to be queued up for verbal comments, please enter your name in the live stream Q&A feature and indicate that you wish to make a verbal comment, but please do not include your written comment, as this will avoid duplication. I will first call on these names in the order received, and after hearing from those individuals listed in the Q&A, we will ask if there are any comments from individuals who are on the phone but not utilizing the online Q&A feature. Please note that you can only make verbal comments by calling into the meeting. When it is your turn to speak, press *6 on your phone to unmute. And as a reminder, this public comment period is for commissioners to listen to comments and concerns and not to answer specific questions. When providing comment, please indicate your name and where you live if you're willing to share that, so that we have that information for our records. And please limit comments to one per person and keep them brief, no longer than 3 minutes, so that we have a chance to hear from all who would like to comment. And with that, Ms. Cole, I believe that you are once again ably assisting the commissioners in this process, and I'm wondering if there's any comments that have been included in the Q&A feature.
Chair Scripps, at this time, there are no comments listed in the Q&A feature, and there are also no names of people wishing to speak at this time in the Q&A feature either.
You just happen to know what I was going to ask next. Thank you, Ms. Cole. Is there anybody on the phone who's unable to use the Q&A feature to queue up who wants to make a public comment? Again, *6 to unmute yourself. And I will ask again if there's anybody on the phone who'd like to make public comment at this time. *6 to unmute. Okay. Well, before we close, just a few announcements from my end. Our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, April 8, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. Under the extensions that were approved last year by the legislature, this meeting would need to be in person unless a local emergency declaration exists, in our case for Eaton County, where the commission offices are housed. Earlier this week, the Eaton County Board of Commissioners adopted such a declaration, and so while we're still reviewing the language and impact, it is likely that we will continue to meet virtually, at least for the April 8 meeting. We've seen significant benefits at the Commission from both a safety and transparency perspective from being able to meet virtually, and we'll continue to update you on any changes as our plans change and as we move forward. I also want to recognize that March is Women's History Month, and we have been celebrating the many contributions of women commissioners and staff all month through social media channels and in other ways. I know Commissioner Paratic in particular is a relentless supporter of women in STEM, and all of us share that commitment. So it is an exciting opportunity to recognize, again, the many, many contributions of women who have served in both commissioner and staff roles here at the Commission and added to our work. And finally, I want to express condolences from the Commission to the victims of the recent killings in Atlanta and to the Asian American community more broadly. There are certainly some troubling trends in terms of violence against the Asian American community, and I'd note that 70% of the victims last year in an analysis of nearly 4,000 hate-related incidents, 70% of the victims were women. So again, I want to just express the condolences of the Commission to the victims and their families and to the broader community. Commissioner Paratek, Commissioner Phillips, do either of you have any comments today?
I do have just brief comments to make. First, I attribute my gaffe this morning to the late tip-off last night, so my apologies there. But on a much more serious note, and to your previous comments, I would like to just take a brief moment to recognize the concerns raised by members of our staff about the rise in hate speech and violence towards the Asian American community nationally, in part due to rhetoric related to the origins of the novel coronavirus. The recent violence perpetuated against Asian Americans in San Francisco, New York, and other communities across the country only strengthens our organization's commitment to talk openly and genuinely about how the Commission can and will address discrimination and promote inclusion, not only within the virtual walls of our organization, but externally in the jurisdictions that we regulate. I continue to encourage our staff to speak up and to speak out, and once again thank those who have contributed to our organization's diversity and inclusion efforts. I also lend praise to the individuals and organizations who are working to protect and advocate for those communities who are being impacted by the heightened state of hate speech and violence towards the Asian American community. And thank you again for your comments this morning as well, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I just want to second the thoughts and thoughtful comments of the other two commissioners, Commissioner Phillips and Chair Scripps, and express condolences and express our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion at the Commission.
And thank you, Commissioner. Well, I think that concludes today's meeting. Again, the next regular Commission meeting is scheduled for Thursday, April 8th, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. And again, we expect that to also be a virtual meeting. With that, is there a motion to adjourn, Commissioner Phillips?
I move to adjourn today's Commission meeting.
Commissioner Paratek?
I second the motion.
We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Be well.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.